Why are all the cards underpriced? How can you have a card be so rare, so difficult to get, and only be worth $2? That's what we're talking about today on Master Set Madness, where we are trying to complete a complete master set of Uprising, Flesh and Blood. If you're new around here, that means we're looking for one of every single card in every single variation, non-foil, foil, cold foil, marvel, whatever other thing you can think of. We're trying to get it from opening booster boxes. This is case number 13. We are a long way in. Again, like I said today, we're going to be talking about valuing cards, why some cards have more value and why some cards don't. It's going to erase your face, hopefully, and hopefully you enjoy the conversation today. And hopefully, of course, you enjoy the pack opening, because we're going to get something good, decent, possibly something that we need. That's the goal. We're trying to get some things that we need. Again, we're on case 13, so I guess this is what, box number 49, if I'm counting it correctly. And we only need 10 more cards. We only need 10 more cards. We got one card that we needed from our last case. So, I mean, we have hit the spot where it is very difficult to find them. The cards that we're looking for today are Rainbow Foil Majestics, Burn Them All, Liquefy, Extended Art, Phoenix Form, 2 Cold Foil Legendaries, Tiger Strike, Shuko, and the Ghostly Hand. Not the Coronet Peak! Oh, not the Coronet Peak. My friends, who wants this card? Who wants this card, and what do I gotta do to stop opening that card? What do I have to change? What am I doing wrong? We have hit so many Coronet Peaks. I believe that's our third Cold Foil Legendary Coronet Peak on top of 4 Rainbow Foil Coronet Peaks, my friends. Oh man. Oh man. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? As always, this video, this series is not a sponsorship or anything of what you should do in collecting, but it is what we are doing. So take that for whatever it means. We're also looking for a couple of marvels. Of course, you can see this all on the bottom of the right side of the screen. We're looking for an Ash Marvel, a Invoke Mirage Marvel, and they're of course looking for a Blood of Drakai. There is the legendary. We have done it, my friends. We've finally hit a Fabled. My goodness. It's the Rainbow Foil version. I just saw how low the price has gone on it, but that's okay because we needed it for our set. 49 boxes. 49 boxes to hit one of these. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And talk about like the clumping here. If you saw the last case we opened, terrible. 3 out of the last 4 cases we've opened have been terrible. And that first box here, I mean, not a great legendary cold foil, but one nonetheless, and the Fable Rainbow Foil. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, check that off of our list. Oh, it's so exciting. Just dwell in it. Dwell in it. If you've been here from the beginning, you know how hard we've tried. Oh, and we got it. We got it. Just let that sit there. That's it there. We don't need to see these foil commons. Oh, that's like not even halfway through box 1. So, look at that. Check it off the list. We do not need that Fabled anymore. We just need to get the cold foil one. Can we get the cold foil one? Oh, I said this. We will talk about valuings of cards. We could probably specifically talk about that one now that we see it. My goodness. My goodness. Oh, come on, James. Let's have a really crazy case. And let's pull the cold foil one. Let's do it. We're down to 9 cards that we need for the set, guys. That is the kind of push that we need to finish this thing. Oh man, I was prepared to say in this video, you know what guys, we can't go on forever. That is still true, but forever just got a little bit closer. Burn away common foil. My goodness, awesome. Yeah, so those are the cards we need. They're always at the bottom of the right hand of the screen. And value. Talking about valuation. So I've been doing this. I got some comments specifically on the video where I showed what I got out of 1,056 packs. And you know, you can see there just how rare some cards are. Now, of course, just because this is what I've gotten out of 49 boxes doesn't mean that that's the average or what, you know, other people pulled. Some people get lots of these little friends here way quicker than I ever did. And other people go much farther than this even and don't see them. But, so what's interesting about, you know, Uprising here, and again, people talking about, wow, why aren't these cards more valuable? Like I showed that Stoke the Flames. Somebody made a comment in that 1,056 pack video. You know why? I've been saying that's underpriced. And I mean, it's pretty lowly priced. It's like, you know, $2 on TCG Player. I don't know if that's a, you know, light play version or whatever. Even if it's $5, you know, I opened 4 of those out of 44 boxes. Here we're on box 49, and now we've got 5 of those common extended art cards. So even though it says common on it, it's really not very common that you're going to get one. Like, that's a lot of packs just to get, you know, a $2 to $5 card. Very, very rare to get. Even this one we just opened here, 49 boxes. We got 1 of them. Ooh, we already got you. But you are shiny. And, you know, I just saw that today was on TCG Player. Looks at like, what, $78 or something? Which is really, really low historically for a rainbow foil fabled card in a set. And so, I mean, you know, there's so much I feel like we could talk about this. Of course, you know, the big basis for all of it is supply and demand, right? So cards that have a lower supply and a higher demand in combination are worth more. Now, of course, those two things can vary quite a bit. There are cards that have really high supply and high demand that don't, you know, have a lot of value just because there's so much of it. There are cards that have really low supply, looking at you, or more so looking at you, really low supply, but there's not a lot of demand. There is not a lot of demand. And so that's part of it, right? And I think one thing that a lot of people kind of miss or overlook is they look at cards, you know, in a silo, right? So sometimes we look at, wow, that extended art common card is super, super hard to get. No way it should only be a $3 card, right? Like, you're barely ever going to get it. But it's not just, you know, that card alone. It's not just the fabled here alone, but it's the context that it's in. It's the context of what else can and do you get in those boxes or in those sets. So here with Uprising, what we have, again, totally different from all the other previous Flesh and Blood sets, is we've got this combination of, like, you know, the old first edition and unlimited printings, which means that not only can you get the rainbow foil fabled here, but you can also get the cold foil fabled. So, of course, which one is going to have more value? The cold foil one. And the fact that you can get the cold foil one in this, and there are people who will be chasing it, and while they do that, they're going to open a bunch more of those, that affects the value and the price of, you know, the rainbow foil version. Now, not just that, but this set has marvels, and a lot of the marvels hold a lot of value, right? You've seen some of them. Go back to, what was it, case? Oh, which case? Case 11. Go back and watch case 11 after you finish with this, not before, to see the whole Marvel train. Man, you can get some great Marvels. You can get a lot of value out of those Marvels. The Majestic Marvel Dragon Allies are way more valuable than this Fabled. Though definitely not as rare based on what we've experienced. But they're more sought after, right? They're more sought after than this card. So, even though they're a little bit more common, they got more value to them. When you mix those in with, there's the cold foil legendaries and the rainbow foil legendaries, There's Extended Arts. There's Cold Foil Majestics. There's all the, Marvel Train, everything, all the stuff that I've, repeated twice in that list. It's a lot of cards with a lot of value that you can get from this set. Which means that as long as there's enough supply of boxes, which there has been, the price of these boxes hasn't jumped to 90, 100, 120, 150, or back in the crazy Monarch days, $500, whatever. As long as that supply is there, then all of the cards can't maintain large value, even if they're hard to get. Right? Even if Stoke the Flames or whatever other common extended art card is difficult to find, there's so many other cards that have value or rarity, like difficult to find in this that it just can't maintain super high value prices. Oh, look at that. Talking about value. Well, value is not the right word, but collection progress. Cold foil Ghostly Touch. That is one of the legendary cold foils we needed. We've hit 2 cold foil legendaries in this case. Checking off another card on our list. Come on. Are we going to finish this? Are we actually going to finish Master Set Madness? Oh, you guys, that's 2 cards in here. We're down to 8. Come on, James. Come on, James. Put a comment below and say, come on, James. Look at that. Talking about extended art commons. There we got one. They're not that rare. They're not that rare. You just opened one. What are you talking about? We're not going to cover up you, though. You stay visible to the public. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. So why can't these cards hold that value, that large value, right? Because if you can open this box for $80, and even though you don't get a Flame Call Awakening in every box or whatever, you're going to get a certain amount of value and other cards that are difficult to get. And if you consistently can open up a box or a case of Flesh and Blood, and you can consistently get more value than what the case is worth, what's going to happen? Right? More people will open the cases to sell the cards because they're going to get more money from selling the singles than they are from selling the sealed case. Following with me here and tracking with me here, which means then that more people will open it. As more people open it, there's more sellers who try and hit the market with cards, and it kind of becomes a race to the bottom to try and get the sale, especially with rewind. That's our 4th one of those. 4th one. Not rare at all. Come on, 4 of those. That's funny. That's funny. I like that. Like the TCG world and the amount of margin you get off of these things, which is not great. Can't go back and watch my video. I averaged at that point like 78 a box. Definitely went down from the last case. Like, you're not getting great margins on card games generally. Was a little different the last couple years. Piles are just madness now. Master Set Madness. There you go. And so sometimes in the way people are working on credit, they just got to sell the cards, they got to move the cards. They're not necessarily, even individual players, they need to recoup their money back. They're not worried about, let's maintain the price of these cards by not trying to undercut everybody else. And so as more people open, the prices get lower, and that goes lower on all of the cards. Slowly, or quickly, can drag it down. And it just becomes impossible for, in this case, there's so many rare cards, difficult to get cards. That's why we're on box number 50 here, and we still haven't found one of each one. They can't all maintain value. They can't all maintain value. And I think the other part of it too is that I think people overestimate, and underestimate sometimes, but I think people overestimate the desirability of some of the cards. I think they think some cards, like a card shouldn't have value just because it's rare, right? It needs to have the demand. There we go with that. Not a bad box too after box one. And before I open that, let's get rid of this brain freeze pile. Like, the demand for these common extended art cards is just nowhere near a place it would need to be for now, for these cards to be $10, $15, $20. Like, you know, most people don't really want them or don't need them. Or, I mean, there's a lot of people who want them, but the supply actually is there. Even if they're hard to get, there's just enough to meet that demand. And what happens too is, you know, it's like, wow, there's cool excitement, especially right away when you see them. But, you know, we've got Dynasty coming up. We talked about Dynasty in the last video. And, you know, the interest in those cards, unless they become super playable in some, you know, or more playable in more decks, like, the demand for those is just, it's probably not going to go up, let's be honest. And as the card pool gets wider, you know, the less people's attention can be on any one specific card. I mean, just take a look at Magic. There are so many cards in Magic. Like, they just can't, your average person can't even fathom or consider, like, getting all of them. Or, you know, really trying to get multiple copies of playset of, you know, this special fancy version of this one card. You know, it ends up being too much, and it's just not possible for the cards to maintain that much value. Yeah. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Tell me why I'm wrong. And I could be wrong. Or you could say, I agree with you, Mr. Overload Gaming. Oh. Almost halfway through the first half. How's that for a line? Another foil thaw. I love the look of this card. Here you go, great example. I think this card has one of the best arts in the set. I think it looks gorgeous. I think the foil version is great. I wish there was some cool cold foil version of it. There's not. But it's not an expensive card. You know? It's not like you get a ton of these. But there's not a bunch of people who want to grab this for, you know, $10 a card, willing to pay for that. Why? Because there's so many other cards. Like, you know, how many people want to have just a binder full of foil thaws? I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it. I think it'd be really cool to have, but I'm not going to spend the money on it. Like, the desire to actually have that is not to the degree where I'm going to really probably even do anything about it. I've opened 5 of them here, which is crazy and more than most people will ever do. But yeah, there's just no push to, like, oh, I'm going to get it. And I would just assume even that, again, unless that becomes particularly playable, particularly important, which it very well could, you know, someday if more ice characters become really, really common and you need stuff to get rid of, you know, frostbite tokens and all that fun stuff. Like, until then, Thaw's just not gonna, it's not gonna hit the peaks of value. Much to my disappointment. I mean, I think it'd be great if it went up. You know, I could get some money back on some of these. But there's just a limit. And so sometimes, yeah, no, sometimes cards really are undervalued. And other times it's just because not everything can have value. There's a limit to how much the value can be held across things. And so again, with Uprising, because there's so many more cards of value that you can get in this set, the value is really, really spread out. So just because you see, oh, the Blood of Drakaya Fable is so cheap, it's so much less than the last you know, few sets, so it's terrible, and look at how Legend Story Studios is ruining the game and messing it up. It's like, well, go back to the last set. How many Marvels could you get in Everfest? How many Marvels could you open that were worth, you know, over $100? How many of them were there? Right? Were there 3 of them? Like there are in this set? How many legendaries could you open in that set? How many cold foil legendaries could you get in that set that were over, you know, $100? Is it the same as this? No, it's not. Ooh, Quelling Sleeves. That is the first non-legendary cold foil we've opened in this case. You disappoint me, Quelling Sleeve, you disappoint me. You know what I've done before? Let's just move this to keep that little guy up there visible, viewable. How's this for giving away what's in the pack? So it's just this set, you cannot directly compare it to the previous sets because of how much variety there is in it in comparison. So, ooh, Kyloria, you look great. We've already got a couple of you, but you are a good looking card. I like the gold. I like that they did at least one golden looking dragon. You just cover that sleeves. The sleeves is not important. Now, box 3 here, definitely the worst of the case so far, but better than other boxes we have had. So don't get caught up in comparing this set to the previous sets. I think it's going to be a much better comparison to Dynasty when that comes out. Again, Dynasty though has a higher MSRP, which may or may not affect the value of the cards in the set. I mean, obviously it affects the way stores want to be able to sell it. They want to be able to sell it for a higher price because they're probably paying a higher price on it. But that doesn't mean that your average player and collector is going to be able to just ignore their price memory and, you know, be willing to pay more for the cards in it. Like, I don't expect there to be huge increases in the value of cards, except, I mean, who knows? Marvel equipment could be really good. They could be super expensive. But again, if there's, you know, if there's multiple amazing Marvel equipment that you can get, and Fabled that looks amazing, cold foil, rainbow foil versions of all these. Like, I don't know with equipment, can you get a rainbow foil version and a legendary version, or sorry, and a cold foil and a Marvel version, or is it going to be like the Marvels in this set where the Marvels for like the dragons, they replace the rainbow foil version? I don't know, but there's going to be probably a lot of cards that people like and people want to get, which means either, right, the prices on all of them is going to spread out to where it kind of matches to wherever boxes are selling at, or the price of the boxes are going to go up, right? Because people are just going to crack the boxes or not be willing to sell them, you know, for that lower price because they're not undercutting on the singles. We just got to wait and see. But don't get too caught up in just looking at a card by itself and out of the context of where you get that card from and what other cards surround it when you're thinking about price and value. And all that to say, again, there are cards that are undervalued. You know, not financial advice for anybody or what you should or shouldn't do, but if you really think something is really, really undervalued, buy a couple new copies of it if you think it's going to go up. Luvian Constellas. Not the card we need, but we don't mind getting 3 legendaries in a case. Don't mind that. Rainbow foil one this time. Man, see, like if every case was like this, it would feel good. I still don't know. I mean, because I don't remember how much Ghostly Touch and Coronet Peak are worth there. Her cold foils, but this is like, even with this is not like the case where we got the double Marvel Dragon allies. This is not a super crazy double, triple your money kind of case, because again, the value in that Blood of Drakai has just had to come down with everything else that's going on. It has not been able to maintain a higher, you know, I don't know, has not been able to maintain a higher value. Box number 4. Oh, look at that camera shake. We're halfway through box number 4. Halfway through it. Fun comment for the video. We're going to have something, right? Fun comment for the video. Just right. I want to have some fun, right? Some of you are going for it. I love that. Just write that, right? I found it. Write the phrase, I found it. Don't say what you found. Don't say why you were looking for it. Don't say that I found it. Just say, I found it. I found it. And come on. I want to see somebody say, I found it, and I want another person to say what. Like, you could even play up the game, go on to somebody else's comment who said, I found it, and just ask them what. What did you find? What are you talking about? Let's have some fun. Let's confuse the people. Confuse the people who don't make it this far in the video. Let them be confused. Let them wonder. Let them be curious. Let them think that strange things are happening. Have some fun. Let me know that you found it. Maybe in the next video you can tell me what you found. I know what I found. I found that Fabled. We found our first Fabled. That's amazing. That is amazing. What is this? I take the tempo. Box number 52. 52? Right? I believe. Case 13. Master Set Madness. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Really do appreciate it if you leave a like, leave a random comment about whatever you want to do. Tell me why you think, or what you think about pricing of cards. If you agree with me, if there's aspects that I missed about it, I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are some points that I've missed. Let me know. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we did break 100 subscribers a little bit ago. I actually forgot to mention that in the last video. Super awesome. I really appreciate just all the support. I had no idea starting this. Would anybody enjoy watching it? I know it was a little bit late. A little bit late to the Uprising game, but I do like that there's more time in between sets for Flesh and Blood, that you can kind of enjoy Uprising for a while. You don't have to rush the Dynasty, though that'll be here soon. Share the video with a friend, somebody else you think would like it. Let me know if there's any topics you think you would enjoy having me discuss in this. Here's our last pack of the case. Quelling Robe. The Quelling Robe. What do you quell? As always, quick price check. So we're back, checked out the prices. We got about $336 worth of value in this one. Again, not counting every single Majestic in that pile, just the race face and the beer cards. So not bad. Significantly better than the last case. About just above breaking even, right? Of course, the real excitement is for the collection. Getting this beauty of a card. Oh, man. It's tempting to put it as a thumbnail, but you don't really want to give it away, do you? You don't want to give it away. Make them watch the video. And of course, this is great. We checked off, the Ghostly Touch in our collection. Great. Card looks great in cold foil. Love seeing that. Beautiful, beautiful. You've seen the Coronet Peak before a few times on here. If you haven't, you have not been watching enough videos. Just go back and watch the rest. Which, of course, you're welcome to do. Would love that. You can go back and watch the whole series, or even just the recap video that we did a couple of videos ago. I appreciate it. Blood on Drakai, though, talking about values and price, I just, of course, I just looked at the price. And yeah, I promise there's like 46 of them available on TCG Player, right? The rainbow foil version, not including everywhere else. And you can see the price history, like, dropping from 135 down to like 75 now. It's just a slow decline because people have seen how much value you get from everything else and it just can't maintain it. It can't maintain it, and right, supply is there. There's a lot of them out there. For a card that's hard to get, and you see 46 of them plus, the 12 or whatever cold foils available there from one source. That's a lot of cards. That's a lot of cards. So, it's not a lot when you think of every person who plays Flesh and Blood, but it's a lot of cards compared to how many people are actually trying to get it. So, Thanks again for watching. You guys have a great day, evening, morning, afternoon. Like, comment, tell me that you found it.